Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well today. Uh, it is, of course, a new month, which means a new prediction. So today we are wasting no time and getting in right to, the updated prediction for the United States House of Representatives. Seemed to get a lot of support on the last video I did on this topic, so appreciate all of that. But yeah, this is an updated video. But before we get into it, if you like non-biased political content, this channel is right for you. So I recommend subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll never miss out on a new video. Okay, so I think probably some has changed since the last video. The polling for the Republicans isn't looking too great. Democrats are leading by around 5 points, 4 to 7 points, depending on the poll. And the party out of power typically does well, so the Democrats should at least be modestly favored this year. It's possible Republicans could defy the trend, so it just doesn't seem like the time it's going to happen. Because trifectas don't last for long, and oftentimes they get blown out of the water sometimes. Does that mean we're going to have a year like 2018? Possibly. Do you think it could be like more similar to 2022, where it's just more of a ripple? Also possible. I think it's probably going to be in a mix, but Democrats should clearly be in the driver's seat going into 2026, just because they're the party out of power. But we'll be taking that into factor as we predict the House. So without further ado, let's get right on to it. We will start, of course, in the Pacific Northwest and Washington State. A lot of these districts will be safe regardless. This one right here could become likely, but I think it'll be safe. Excuse me. Greg Lucas-Camperez shouldn't have much of a problem running again. She, down the road could face a more competitive election, and she could be facing a stronger candidate. I think that the environment will be strong enough to carry her over the finish line. That's probably what's going to happen. Montana's district right here will probably be more competitive. Ryan Zinke shouldn't really have much of a problem hanging on, and that we know. Oregon does have quite a few likely Democratic districts. However, I think a lot of them are just going to end up being safe just because of the environment. I think Janelle Bynum wins by under 10, but she'll go up to likely just because of the environment. Democrats, with their new map in California, shouldn't have much of a problem. The left will be flipping quite a few seats. The seat is safe. I'll leave this as likely because Kevin Kiley hasn't made up his mind if he's running there or not. Adam Gray probably wins by likely margin. It's a close district. I just think that Democrat environment should probably propel him over the finish line, probably by a decent margin. There are some likely districts in here, so some of them will be likely, but it really shouldn't be that much of a problem for Democrats flipping a slew of districts in California. I think Ruiz wins by over 10. There's not a ton of competitive districts. There is a few. You have Darrell Issa running in the new district. I do think he's going to go down by a few points, though. District did vote for Kamala, and he did overperform Trump by 3, this is a Harris plus 3 district, but she didn't win this district by a ton, but it was enough, and I think that, I don't think he'll survive. I think he'll go down. Republicans win their 3 vote sync districts, 4 actually. And then we have the really competitive one, which is David Valadao. He's won some tough races before, and he did vote to impeach Donald Trump a few years back. I think that'll help him. I think he'll just narrowly find some votes to be able to win. I think that he seems to be established enough within his district. It is redrawn. It does include some more liberal areas, but it's still technically voted for Trump. It doesn't matter as much, but I think that he'll probably just narrowly hold on. However, if it does get blue enough, he would lose, but I think he'll hold on again. But it'll be probably the closest election of his career. But yeah, not a lot of ton of competitive districts out west. Democrats got a new district out of Utah. They'll win that. Nevada will roughly stay the same. I'd see the margins going more Democratic, but I just don't see it happening this time. Probably because Joe Lombardo is at the top of the ticket. And he should probably still win re-election, so it'll keep the margins roughly similar to 2024, if I had to guess. Arizona, we have some flips out of Arizona. David Schweikert's running for governor. His district flips. I don't think Juan Ciscomani will hold on. I just don't think it's the type of year. He won because the Green Party candidate took votes away from the Democrat. If it wasn't for the Green Party candidate, Sisquamani probably would have won by like 10 votes. So it is a very competitive district. I just don't see him holding on in this environment. Eli Crane wins by under 10. New Mexico stays all safe and likely Democrats. I don't really see Republicans trying to contest New Mexico, really. Colorado's 7th, I believe, or is it the 8th? It is represented by Gabe Evans. He's probably going to go down. It's a purple district, but again, in this environment, I don't really see him winning right now. He could come back a few years later, but we will have to see. This district will be very close. I think this is Jeff Hurd's district. He wanted to get a strong candidate last time, but I think it'll just be competitive again. Probably because, it's going to be a probably Democratic environment, and that we know. Republicans do pretty good in Alaska. Hawaii, safe Democratic. Texas, Republicans should also not have much of a problem flipping a few of these districts. Just like California, they have a new map. Henry Cuellar probably honestly wins by over 10. He just seems to be an electoral juggernaut. I see him winning. Same with Vicente Gonzalez. This is sort of a dummy mander. They tried to draw him out. I just don't think he's going to go down. I think he'll survive because you'll see some reversion. And I just think that he'll have the environment. Could he go down in the next 2 years? Possibly. Whoever the Republican candidate running at the top of the ticket in 2028, if they keep up with Trump's numbers, Gonzalez probably would lose because he wouldn't be able to have enough crossover appeal like Cuellar does. But just because it's probably going to be 2026, I'd say Gonzalez ends up winning re-election. These two safe districts will go likely. This district will be a flip, and then you have a flip district in southeast Texas, in Houston, and then they get a flip out of Dallas too. That's a safe Republican flip. So you got a flip out there. New map. Oklahoma, same thing. Arkansas, Louisiana. The VRA will probably not get overturned. I think Louisiana is staying the same. That would have been the state to redraw. I just don't think that they're going to get the ruling that they desire currently. Probably we'll see some more states redistrict, though. Most likely in 2028. It would not shock me. It's very possible. It depends on how both sides are feeling, if they're stop redistricting or not. Probably should make a video on that. But Florida is another state that could redistrict. I'm assuming that they're going to keep their map. I'm only going, on this channel, I only go by maps that are currently being used, even unless it's for certain that it has been redrawn. That's basically it. So Florida, I am using their map. They might redistrict, though, in April, so it is something to keep an eye on. I think DeSantis called a special session there. Darren Soto wins by over 10. He's an overperformer. Moskowitz wins by probably 8 or 9. Florida stays virtually the same. A lot of these southern blue districts are protected by the VRA, so Republican districts otherwise are drawn to be not really particularly competitive. So South probably stays around the same. I think Davis actually only goes down by a few points. His district was redrawn. They took his home county and put it into a red district with an incumbent. So he's just going to run in here. Even though he doesn't live there, he still won for the first. I don't think Davis survives, though. I think he was given the axe in his state. It was their Democrat to draw out, basically. So nothing the same. You do have Virginia. Again, they might be districted. It's up in the air to see if they're going to pass the amendment to get rid of the redistricting commission. We're assuming that they're going to keep the same map right now. Unless something changes, I'm going to stick by the current map in Virginia. The 10th district was Democrat by over 10. I think Subramaniam probably, he's not a strong incumbent, really. We know that pretty well. He underperformed, but I think it's a pretty blue-leaning environment, especially how we saw how Democrats did in Virginia in 2025. I think this district will be over 10. Same with Vindman's district. It's purple, but at the end of the day, it'll go Democrat. And again, blue environment. Saw Spotsylvania County vote for Spanberger. I think Vindman should probably hold on by around 5. Democrats win their safe districts, and Jen Kagan's will probably get defeated. She probably won't hang on. Um, Rob Whitman wins by a likely margin this time around. Maryland, not much competitiveness. They don't seem like the state legislator in Maryland wants to pass the redistricting that Westmore wants, so I think Andy Harris will stay yet again. Um, Pennsylvania, similar, sort of. You do have Deluzio who'll win by over 10. Perry, probably, he will go down. He has proven tough to knock off. He used to win by a lot and overperform, but he didn't do particularly great in 2024. And they're probably going to run that same Democrat candidate who's raised a lot of money. I think that she'll be able to take down Perry. Josh Shapiro, even though he's versing Stacey Garrity, is polling pretty well. He's on track to win re-election by quite a bit. If Garrity makes this Pennsylvania governor's race competitive, then these Republican incumbents could hold on. But I really just don't see it happening with the national environment. I think McKenzie goes down too. I just don't really see it happening this time around. Again, they could come back a few years later and try to run again. I just doubt it. You'll see some Democratic flips in Pennsylvania following the Democratic environment. Democrats win all their safe districts in the Southeast. This is Rob Bresnahan's district, the 8th. Very hard to say. I'd say it's a coin flip. I could see it going either way. I'd say he just narrowly holds on because Donald Trump won it by 9 points. So it seems kind of red. Now that they don't have Matt Cartwright as the incumbent, the Democrats probably don't have a huge bench here. They might run the mayor of Scranton, but she's being outraised by Bresnahan. So I think it's going to be very close, but so far it's narrow Republican hold. We'll go back out to the Midwest. Republicans win all their safe Great Plains seats. Eric Schmidt wins by under 10. Iowa, not a lot. You do see some flips, though. Zach Nunn probably goes down as well as Marionette Miller Meeks. Meeks is probably toast. She did barely won in 2024 in a pretty red district. Same Democrat is running. I don't see her holding on. And I think, honestly, Zach Nunn goes down just because Democrats kind of have appeal in some cases in this part of the state. It is a red district, but it's still competitive, and the governor's race should be kind of at least something interesting to watch. So I think that because of that, it'll be like that. Sharice Davids wins by over 10. Missouri, with their new map, Emmanuel Cleaver has been axed. He is done. That's a flip for the Republicans because of redistricting. Illinois, not a super fair map. You have a few unfair maps from both sides, but nothing changes. Sorensen wins by over 10. Indiana, same thing. I think Mervan wins by over 10 following the redistricting chaos. Nothing new out of Minnesota. Wisconsin, it's hard to say. You do have these seats, obviously. Style probably wins by likely. It's hard to say because you have Van Orden. This is what I call a Trump-looking district. It's kind of purple, maybe slightly right-leaning district, but really likes Trump. But I don't know if Van Orden's particularly a good fit. Like, he underperformed Donald Trump by a lot, and it's a pretty competitive district, and seeing Democrats running again, I could see Van Orden hanging on, but I think he'll probably just go down, most likely. It'll be close. Definitely a race to watch. Republicans win their safe seats in Minnesota. This one safe. Indiana, safe. Bill Huizenga, I think that's his name. He could win by likely. I think he'll just barely win over 10. He seems to be a strong incumbent. Michigan, though, they're definitely going to be a state to watch. Third goes over 10. McDonald Rivet's a strong incumbent. I think he'll just win by like 9 or 8. And then Tom Barrett's the real coin flip. He's a strong incumbent, but I just think that the national environment will probably take him down. He'll probably go down. It'll be close, but I think just because the Democrats, again, they have the wind on their backs, they should probably do fairly well. I do think John James's seat, regardless of what happens, it should probably still vote Republican. Just regardless of the situation, it'll be close. It could flip, but it was only close in 2022 because Republicans did pretty bad at the top of the ticket, which dragged him down. He still won. I'm sure Republicans will find a replacement for James, one way or another. Democrats win their 2 vote sync districts. Landsman wins by 4. Sykes wins by likely. That was kind of a missed opportunity for the Republicans that he could have drawn her out. And Captor could have been drawn out to a safe Republican seat, but she still honestly has a fighting chance to win re-election. I'm not saying she ends up winning. I think she probably goes down by a point or two, but she does have a chance to win. Max Miller wins by under 10. This district is likely. That's probably it. I could see Turner's district becoming competitive if he retires, but until he does, it's safe Republican, as well as the rest of the states, other districts up in Ohio. This could become likely, but it's trending pretty red. Safe Republican. All right. New York, not much new things out of the Empire State. Democrats kind of expand on their numbers. I think Manuel wins by over 10. Riley is probably likely. He doesn't really have much of a challenge. Republicans don't have a bench now that they don't have a strong incumbent. Molinaro is not running for this district. He obviously lost in 2024, so that's probably how I see it going. Pat Ryan, I could see him go down to likely. It is more of a leans likely district. I think he'll win by over 10. Probably just because he seems to be, a good fit for the district. He seems to win by a lot. Republicans win their 2 Long Island districts. Lawler wins. Mike Lawler, he's kind of a strong incumbent. He'll probably win by a leans margin for the Republicans. Probably by a point. It'll be close. It'll narrow up. But it's not a red environment, and I know Kathy Hochul's running. She's not a strong incumbent, but I think that she'll still be able to win. I don't think she'll have as close of a race as she did in 2022. I mean, Blakeman's a strong candidate, right? He'll probably make Nassau County competitive, but for these Republicans. But I just think that it's probably just going to stay the same. Nellie Powell probably wins by likely. That's just how I see it happening. She's probably been helped out that Trump's not on the ballot because she did win. Trump did win this district, but no, I just see it staying the same. And then Republicans in their 2 safe districts. And then Tom Kean is this is a coin flip again for me. Again, I think just because of the national environment, he'll probably just go down narrowly. I could see him holding on. I could see Bresnahan losing and Kean winning, or vice versa. I could see Kean losing and Bresnahan winning. These 2 districts right here are very competitive, but I think Kean just narrowly goes down just because of the national environment. Again, Democrats just seem to be favored. And then Democrats win all of these districts right around here. New Hampshire is likely. And Paul LePage flips this district for the Republicans. So that's probably about it. That's how I see the election going. It's really hard to say. I'd say Democrats just narrowly flip this district. It's probably because of the national environment. But yeah, I'd say Democrats control the House by a fairly solid margin. I think they just end up winning. Democrats control the House 225 to 210. So that's about a 15 seat margin. So that does symbolize, Democrats picking up a lot of seats. They win pretty much all the competitive races, as you can tell. Doesn't really. Republicans do have a few seats they win, but not much. But this is basically how I see it. With the elections coming up. So hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed non-biased election content. And I hope to see you in the next video.